And good Thursday evening, everyone. This is John and Sean with Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. We are 98 days away from opening kickoff for the NFL regular season. So thanks for stopping by. Sean is with me as always. And Sean, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, doing well. Like I said, 98 days. That's exactly 14 weeks. So not even a season, full season wait yet to get. I was hoping the USFL would make it go by a little faster, but I don't know. I just haven't been that interested in the USFL this year.
Yeah, I just think honestly it comes down to it. It's the players that are in it. We're not really like gonna cheer for them because it's kind of one of those like they're not probably gonna go anywhere sort of thing. Like you might get like a contract to be like on a team for a practice squad, but I really think that's all that we're gonna get honestly out of it.
Gotcha. So we do, like I said, we do a lot of fantasy football here. But that since it's the off season, we're just getting started with those. I do feel pretty comfortable. So I'll update. I'll make sure all the links are working before I post those in the chat. But you guys can start seeing our yearly projections, and then probably right before Labor Day, I'll probably start posting week one projections as well. So guys can check that out.
Yeah, I
But
mean
go ahead, Sean.
the season's coming up quicker than I
Hmm.
expected.
Yeah. So, and doing the show twice a week really makes it seem good, like it's going by a little faster. So, thanks for helping out with that.
Yeah, of
But
course.
what we wanted to do is we wanted to go through and give our predictions on every team's over under win totals. Where did you get the before I put this up on the screen, Sean? Where did you get the win totals from?
Yeah, I copied them just off of DraftKings, so I
Off of
figured
off of
one
DraftKings.
of the
Okay.
probably the biggest betting site can't really go wrong. I mean, the only thing about it is they can change throughout the off season yet.
Hmm. Right.
So, but for now, they're not really going to change too much.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on that to see if we adjust our projections at all. So let me add this to the stream. Oh, let me get this off the screen. So thanks for making these. You did these for all the teams with our logo, the team's logo, and what DraftKings has their over under totals at the moment.
Hmm.
We'll go over this. We'll come up with some kind of friendly wager to see, depending on how many we have wrong. If we are different, we might not have any different. So
Exactly, and we
um,
might not have any that we predict any different, or we could even out at the end of the year and somehow be a wash.
exactly. So we'll get going here. They have the Arizona Cardinals at 8.5 wins. Last year Arizona was 11-6. So I'll let you go first with Arizona. What do you think with the 8.5?
Honestly, it's under. Just because Kyler Murray, I think the question marks coming in on what happens truly with this offseason. Um, Hopkins is out 6 games. That's going to be big, especially when that's his main receiver, and he was injured last year. I mean, I know that, but then he lost Christian Kirk,
Mhm.
so I'm not liking that. They lost their backup running back. Now they only have James Conner, and honestly, I just think that their 11 wins they got last year after the first 8 games they won in a row, it was downhill from there. And I believe that's going to be this way again. It's just I think it's going to be a mediocre year. Honestly, I think honestly they finished third in their division.
Yeah, I agree with you. I expect them to get 7 or 8 wins, so I took the under as I'm taking the under as well on this one. Um, yeah, yeah, guys. As we're going through the teams, let us know what you think. Let us know what team you're waiting to see. So here at 8.5 with Arizona, Sean and I both took the under. I kind of agree with you. I just don't like this whole Kyler Murray situation. DeAndre Hopkins missing this first whatever six weeks or whatever it is. Um,
Yeah.
I don't like that either. So I agree with you. But anything else on Arizona?
No, I just think that the 8.5 is kind of that rough mediocre line to have, just because either you're going to be below 500 or right at 500 or
Mhm.
above 500, should I say now. So that's the only reason why I really think the under is the best key piece, just because of the second half of the year they had last year.
Yeah, in that division, I mean, they got the Rams and 49ers in that division. Both those teams, I believe, are better than the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Who knows? I don't expect we'll get to the Seahawks at the end here, but they had 7 wins last year, so we'll see where we predict them this year. But yeah, but facing the Rams and Niners for your 17 games, that could be 4 losses right there.
Exactly, and that's my thinking.
Yeah, so let's keep going here. We have the Atlanta Falcons at 5 wins. Atlanta last year was 7-10.
Honestly, this is over in my mind, just because Mariota and Patterson, I think, are going to have a great connection. Calvin Ridley is obviously out again for the whole season, which
Mhm.
he was out all but 2 games, I think, last year because of personal issues, and then got caught betting and got suspended. But I just think that they picked up the key pieces in special places that'll help the team overall. And I think I think honestly, they probably end up with the 7 wins again like they had last year, and they go 7-10, I think.
So yeah, like that. I'm taking the over as well. I have them winning 6 games. I do like the Mariota connection. Uh, him going there. I think they're a little thin at wide receiver, so that's going to hurt. I know they do have the young tight end there, Pitts, but I think it's going to take a year for that team to kind of come together. But they will improve throughout the year, but their schedule is tough throughout the year as well.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, they have Pittsburgh week 13, then their bye week, but then they come back at the Saints, at the Ravens, home for the Cardinals, and then Tampa Bay in week 18. And Tampa Bay could be fighting for either a home playoff game or maybe even the first round bye.
Yeah, and honestly, I think within the next 3 years, they're competing for division titles. Honestly, I think that they're going to probably be one of the best in the division, just because of the youth that they're building in Atlanta.
So I don't have it on the screen, but I am marking down what we're both taking here. We're both taking the over on Atlanta. So let me make sure this is right. I believe Baltimore should be next. Yes,
Hmm.
Baltimore at 9.5 wins. Let me look at what they were last year. Baltimore was 8-9 last year. Now a lot of injury concerns last year. Um,
Hmm.
I know. Man, just had a brain fart with the quarterback.
Lamar.
Lamar, yeah, I know he's not happy, so it'll be interesting to see if they get a deal done, if that affects any of the offseason stuff. They traded away Brown during the draft, I believe.
Hmm.
So and the running backs coming back from injury. So and that division's tough. I know Pittsburgh, Big Ben retired, but that defense is still great. It'll be interesting to see how Trubisky does in that offense. Bengals, of course, were in the Super Bowl last year, so I think this is a little high right now, and I'm gonna take the under because I believe they go 9-8.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, but honestly, I think they have a lot less wins than 9. I think they're more of the 6 to 7 range, honestly.
Wow.
I really think Lamar, without any wide receivers really, besides Bateman, is going to be a hard thing for him to have any kind of mojo going on the passing side. So when that comes into play, you're just going to run, and what are defenses going to do? They're going to probably have quarterback spies just to kind of follow him around, watch him. What is he doing? Where is he going? And just keep an eye on him, honestly, for the whole games, and keep him from having those 150, 200-yard overall games rushing.
Yeah. Everybody that's watching, thank you for watching. If you're interested, we're running a free fantasy football league over on Yahoo. Sean has set that up. We will announce the prizes and announce the official draft date once we get at least 10. We want at least 10 people in that. So we do have some prizes lined up, and Yeah, so guys, check that out. I just put the link over in the chat. Sean, anything on the fantasy league you set up?
No, I mean, we'll just wait until see more people join and go from there.
Yeah. So let's keep going here. We both took the under on Baltimore. That should take us to Buffalo at 11.5 wins. Actually, I have to look up to see what Buffalo had 11 wins last year. Went 11-6. I want to see their schedule. Why I bring up their schedule, Sean? Do you have any takes right off the bat? That 11's like right on the cusp.
I think they're going to be over. Honestly, I do. I think they're going to be in that 12 to 13 win range. Just because of the pieces that they brought in. They brought a lot of good defensive pieces in with Von Miller. They brought a lot of offensive pieces in the draft as well as the free agency, and they only have helped Josh Allen get better. So I think with that, with the pieces that they brought in to help the running game, with bringing in Cook, and then the defensive pieces that help them not have this score, giving up as many points, so the offense doesn't have to have big drives and the game all the time. I think that's a key piece, and honestly, I think that's where the Bills are going to win 12 to 13 games this year.
I just looked at their schedule. I didn't put it on the screen there, but I have them at least 13 wins without taking too much of a deeper dive. So I'm going to take the over as well. Man, so far we're the same on all, bud.
You're just copying me.
Well, we'll see. I'm copying you. All right, then I'll go first here for the Carolina Panthers. Oh man, why? I should have let you take the Carolina Panthers. Let's see here.
You're welcome.
Let's see here. Carolina, I'll actually read off their schedule. They open up against Cleveland, then they go to the Giants, Saints, Cardinals, 49ers, Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Atlanta again, Baltimore, Denver, then they're bye week 13. Come back and play Seattle, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. Yeah, Carolina's definitely not winning 6 games, so I'm taking the under here. Especially, I bet you, Sam, if they don't make a trade, it's definitely under 6, and Sam Darnold will be gone. I mean, they might keep him for the year, but they might bench him as well. Your thoughts on Carolina?
I think they break even. I do.
Ooh.
I think they win 6 games. Just because they usually start the year out hot and they can kind of get that 2, maybe 3 wins in the first 6-7 weeks. And then at some point, if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy all year, he's gonna have that big breakout game, carries the team, and then you always have that 1 to 2 defensive games that they carry them as well. So I do think that the Panthers break even with the 6 wins. It's just a complete wash on the over/under.
Okay, so I'll put you down as even there. Let's go to the next team. I have the next team as the Chicago Bears at 6.5 wins. Last year, Chicago went 6-11 last year. Man, hey, when these bookies and stuff come up with these numbers, they usually know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're usually kind of close to what they know.
So let me look at their schedule here real quick. Chicago, San Francisco, Green Bay, Houston, the Giants, Minnesota, Washington, New England, Dallas, Miami, Detroit, Atlanta, the Jets, Green Bay, bye week, Philly, Buffalo, Detroit, and Minnesota. Oh man, I have Chicago. I don't know. I still think they have question marks at the wide receiver position. The quarterback still going into his second year is a question mark. So at 6.5, I am taking the under.
I'm going to take the over. I really do believe that they have the 7 wins, 7-8 wins in their portfolio and the team. Just because the offense, they didn't really get rid of anybody from last year, and they've only brought everybody back. They kind of kept everybody there except Allen Robinson on the offensive side of throwing wise. So for that, I think Justin Fields is going to be able to have a better second year just because they brought everyone back for him to have to play again with the same kind of players.
Gotcha. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Everyone watching, thank you for being here. If you're not, make sure you follow or hit that follow button already, the notification bell, so you know when we do go live. But we go live on Thursdays at 7 Eastern time, especially during the NFL season. Help you set your fantasy lineups with any injury news or questions you guys might have. Yeah, let's keep going here. You took the over on Chicago. I took the under. So that's the first one we've had different. But I believe Cincinnati will be next with 10 wins. Ooh, man, Cincinnati. 10-7 last year. Any thoughts right off the bat with 10 wins? I can read off their schedule if you like.
I think honestly they have under. I do think they get finished under. I think they finished 9-8.
Ooh,
I don't think that they have the double digit wins back to back years. I still think they're going to be competing for the division title just because that division is so close, so overall rating close wise. So for that purposes, I do think that they get the under 9-8, and they're still probably going to 99% chance make the playoffs just because of how close the AFC will be this year.
Man, yeah, that man, their schedule is tough. I'll read it off here. Pittsburgh, then they go to Dallas, then they play the Jets. The Jets beat them. The Jets beat them last year. Then they're home from Miami, at Baltimore, at New Orleans, Atlanta, Cleveland, Carolina. Their bye week. Then they after the bye they go to Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Kansas City, Cleveland, at Tampa Bay, at New England, and then Buffalo and Baltimore to end the year. Man, that's going to be tough for playoff seedings. There in the AFC. But I'm with you. I think it's going to be a little over or a little under. Probably the 9 wins, like you say. But that's a brutal schedule.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the hardest part is just because of the schedule that they do play.
Yeah, so let's keep going here. Cleveland should be next. Cleveland Browns 9.5 wins. I don't even need to look at their schedule. I'm taking the under on this one as well. I think 9 wins is going to win that division. But your thoughts on Cleveland?
It's under just because we don't know what we're going to be really having as a team. What really is Cleveland going to be? What quarterback is even starting? There's a lot of question marks with that. So honestly, it's under for me, and I can't even say what kind of wins they're going to have, just because I don't really know what really they think of their win and loss record, just because of the team that they have and what pieces are going to be kind of a question mark.
Hey, hope you have a great stream. Just came by to lurk. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for lurking. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that follow button. Really appreciate it. If you do, I follow everybody back that follows us. It's not a requirement. If you don't want to follow us, that's fine as well. But yeah, I'll check out your channel as well. Thanks for being here. And of course, always everybody, thanks for lurking. If you have any comments, we'll answer the comments before we keep with our topic. So we're here to talk to you guys. But let's keep moving here. We both took the under there on the Browns. Who's next, Sean?
I'm not sure.
Dallas Cowboys at 10 wins. I don't have to look this one up either. I am going under on this one. I don't like for some reason. Now I do think it's between them and the Eagles to win that division. But I don't. I think 10 wins is too many.
I see. I'm actually going to say again, they're going to break even. I think they win 10 games this year. I do think so, just because of the division. They're probably going to win the 2 games against the Giants. They normally split one with the Eagles, so there's 3, and they're going to split one with probably, I believe, Washington as well, just because Washington always plays everybody tough. So right there is your 4 wins, and that's not even getting in your other teams that they have to play. So right there, you just have to win 6 other games. So I do believe that just because Dallas is a good team, and they always play everybody hard, and they don't ever give up to the very end. I think that's why they get at least 10 wins.
Gotcha. So we'll see. Yeah, that's our second one that's different. We had the Bears different, and now the Cowboys different. But we'll keep going through the list here. The Denver Broncos at 10 wins as well. Man, now they got Russell Wilson in the offseason. They have a rookie tight end, I believe. Great wide receivers. Great running backs. But man, that division. Sean, what do you even before we make our predictions? What do you think of the AFC West?
Toughest division in football this year.
Agreed. These teams are going to knock each other off. So let's see here. That's 6 of their games. So 6 of their games. I got to look at Denver's schedule. They start the year at Seattle, home for Houston, home for San Francisco, at Vegas, Indy, the Chargers, the Jets, Jacksonville. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have them about 8 or 9 wins, so I'm going to take the over or take the under for the Broncos. But I do expect them to be fighting for their playoff spot.
Yeah, I think it's under. I just think that they're probably in that. Honestly, just because it is still Denver, their defense is still going to be questionable, and just because of adding Russell Wilson, I just think they got rid of too much with getting rid of Fant. So honestly, I'm thinking they're honestly going to be around, I think, 8 wins this year. I don't think that they go past that. I just think the division's too tough, and they're going to lose too many close games.
Frank is the dark boy is here lurking for you, man. Thanks a lot. I know you're busy with your streams. Sean, he's I believe he's out on the West Coast, so he doesn't stream until about 11:30 at night. So I usually only catch about an hour or so of his streams. He plays a lot of Final Fantasy. I believe he's playing Final Fantasy. So if you get a chance, definitely check out Frank is the Dark Boy's channel. It's a good time over there. I'll actually put one of his emotes here in our chat. They call themselves the Frog Gang. So I'll put that. That's his. I'm a member. I subbed over on his channel, so you get all his emotes as well. So yeah, we both took the under on Denver there, right?
Yes.
Let's keep going here. Let me get this up. This should take us to Detroit, I believe.
I believe so.
Let me go back. Detroit at 6.5. I don't even need to look at Detroit's schedule. I am taking the over on Detroit this year. I would not be surprised if they are fighting for the last wild card spot in the NFC. That the NFC after the top couple teams, the Rams, Bucks, maybe the Packers. That's it. So I believe it's wide open. But yeah, your thoughts on the Lions at 6.5?
I'm just going to simply agree with you on that one. It's without a doubt. I believe it's over. I think honestly that I'm in the same ballpark as you. They're competing for a playoff spot.
Right. So that one was actually fairly easy. Taking 6.5. I might actually just go on the DraftKings, and we could bet that on DraftKings, right?
Yes.
Yep. So I might do that before that number changes because I believe that number will go up. But let's keep moving here. Ooh, Green Bay. I don't need to look at their schedule either. I am taking the under on Green Bay. Definitely still fighting for the division, but I think there's too many question marks there. Not only at the wide receiver position, but on the defensive side of the ball as well. But yeah, your thoughts on Green Bay?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely without a doubt being an under.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think. I don't even think they get in double-digit wins this year. I think they're in at 8 to 9 wins.
Wow.
I just think that the team took too many hits this year. Too many people left that were key pieces, and when key pieces walk away or get traded or leave, you you got to start thinking that the team's not going to be playing on all cylinders.
Yeah, so let's keep going here. I believe Houston should be next. Oh, Houston at 4.5. Oh man, Sean, thoughts on Houston? Why I bring up their schedule?
I do think that they're going to be right on that 4.5 win mark. I really do think it's going to be close. I'm going with the under just because there's a lot of young players there, and I just don't know how they're going to play all together. But I wouldn't be shocked if they don't surprise me and have a great season just because there's so many question marks on that team. But in my gut, I do think that they have under 4 wins or around 4 wins or under.
Yeah, I was just looking at their schedule, and I can only come up with 4 games that they could possibly win. So I'm taking the under as well. But who knows with Davis Mills? I know that they like him a lot there in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that team comes together. But for right now, this year, yeah, just that division they're in is pretty stacked as well with Indy, Tennessee, and Jacksonville getting better as well. Right?
Oh,
Is that the right
absolutely.
division?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That division's definitely a I wouldn't say wide open division on who could possibly play great, but I think that division just has a lot of question marks, and I just don't know what kind of answers they have.
Yeah. So I'll actually once we do this, I'll actually post all our picks on Twitter, and I'll show them on screen here as well before we head out. But so we both took the under 4.5 for Houston, still getting that about 4 win spot, but Indy at 9.5 wins. So you can't take even here because you can't unless you're going to predict a tie. But yeah, your thoughts on the Colts signing? They ended up getting Matt Ryan. I still think they're a little thin at wide receiver. But your thoughts on the Colts?
Under
Uh,
all day. I just don't think that they have it in them to win 10 games. I just even with Matt Ryan, he's leaving a pretty bad team overall in Atlanta. When he left, he wasn't really on great terms. To go to Indianapolis, his offense is kind of hit or miss besides Jonathan Taylor and Pittman. And then his defense is on point, but you can't always depend on your defense to win your games.
I just went through their schedule. I'm going with you. I'm going with the under. I have Indy on their high side getting 8 wins.
Yeah, I just don't see them winning too many games to go up that high.
So that should take us to Jacksonville.
Yep.
Yes, Jacksonville at 6 wins. I am taking. I don't know their schedule. I know they spent a lot in the offseason. I know Trevor Lawrence is going into his second year, but I like the moves they made. I think some of them will pan out. I'm definitely going over 6 wins, but I think there'll be about 7 wins.
I'm actually going to break even. I think they finished with 6 wins this year. I do. I just don't think that they have to get the mindset going on playing together as a team. And I just think that Trevor Lawrence is still young. He's still going to have those inexperienced games, and I think those are going to haunt him for a few times throughout the year, where his turnover ratio is really bad. So I think with that, I do think that they end up only breaking even and making 6 wins out of the year.
Guys, so we'll keep moving here. So you had even, so that's another one we had different. So far, the 3 different we have are the Bears, who you have over 6.5. I have under. Dallas is at 10, and you think they'll win 10. I say under. And Jacksonville, I have over 6 wins, and you have even at 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 different so far. And the Kansas City Chiefs are next. They have them at 10.5. I don't need to look. I think they have a little letdown of the year. That division got tougher. I do expect them to still fight for a playoff spot. And I'm projecting 9 or 10 wins. So I'm taking the under here.
Yeah, I'm completely agree with what you said. Under is the key, and I think that division as well, and as hard as it got, I just think that they're not going to have an easy road to the division anymore like they had.
So let's keep moving here, moving right along here. A little bit past halfway. I think we're past halfway.
Yep, yep, we're at
Uh,
halfway now.
then you have the Raiders here at 8.5 wins. I don't need to look at their schedule. I'm taking the over on the Raiders.
Yeah, so am I. I do think they're going to get that 9 to 10 wins. I do think so. The fact that the Raiders were predicted to be in last place in the division is crazy. Just because of the moves they made and the improvements that they made, I just think that with those moves that they made, how do you really think that they're a last place team?
Right, and they won 10 games last year, and like you said, they improved. They improved. They got better on both offense and defense. And
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's another. Maybe that's another one I check out on DraftKings and put a little friendly bet over there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I just think that they have too many good pieces to not win at least double digits.
yeah. So let's keep moving here. Um, Now we have the Chargers. Chargers went 9-8 last year. They have them at 10 wins. I like the Chargers, but I'm going under. I still think they're going to be about 9 wins. Definitely fighting for a playoff spot. Um, your thoughts on the Chargers at 10?
I'm actually hitting the over on this one. I think that they're going to be in the 11 to 12 wins.
Wow.
I really do. I just think that their pieces that they brought in, the pieces that they had, Justin Herbert's only getting better, and the team's only getting better overall. So I think with that being said, you have to think that the team's going to be firing on all cylinders, and that they're going to go out there and they're going to set the world on fire.
And with you saying that, what you did, I'm changing mine, but I'm changing mine to even. So we still have it different because you took the over. So I'll go even at 10. So we still have that one different. That's 4 so far. And that should take us to the Rams at 10.5. I have to look up their thing from last year. They won 12 games. And possibly they won 12 games last year. They won the Super Bowl, and I think they got better.
Yeah. And I think that the 12 wins that they had, that could have been 14 wins by far.
Right. I remember at least one game where I believe they played Baltimore and had a lead and blew that lead. It was like 28-3 or something, and they
Hmm.
or something like that, and they blew that lead. So I'm taking over 10.5. What's your official?
Yeah, I'm doing the over as well. I just think that they have too many pieces not to have 10.5 wins for sure.
Okay, so let me mark this down. Over as well. So you've gone over 3 straight teams: the Raiders, Rams, and Chargers.
It's gonna
Uh,
happen.
it's gonna happen, he says. We'll see. We will see. That'll take us to the Miami Dolphins at 9 wins. I don't need to look at their schedule. I am taking the under.
I think they break even for me. Honestly, I do. I think just because of, as I like to call him, Noodle Arm Tua, I think he's gonna end up getting replaced at some point throughout the year. And I think when that happens, I think the team will get better and they'll realize that Tua isn't the answer. So I think that being said, I think 9 wins is about their high point for the year, and I think that's where they'll finish the year.
So, yeah, you have them even. I have them under. So that's another one different. That's 5 so far. We'll go over the difference list here at the end. But I believe that takes us to your Minnesota Vikings here at 9 wins. I'm going to have to look at their schedule, Sean. Why I do that? Tell us all a little about the Vikings. It's kind of off season they had, what their record was last year.
Yeah, I think with the offseason acquisitions that they made and the improvements that they made, I think honestly we're gonna probably be at that 9 win mark. I think they're gonna break even with that, honestly, just because I don't think they're gonna be double digit wins, but I also don't see them having a dumpster fire of a year like we had last year and everything go wrong. Um, just because the amount of losses we had last year that within one score, I don't think you'll see that again this
Yeah.
year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and I agree. I'm gonna take not 9 seems like the perfect number for the Vikings.
Absolutely.
And what did we have the Packers at? Packers at 11.
They were at 11.
We both took the under. So do you think if Minnesota wins 9, are they fighting for the division?
I think so. Honestly, I do.
Okay, so let's keep going here. The New England Patriots at 8.5 wins. And this one's tough to me. Now we can't go even here because of the half game, but I'm going to go under. I don't think they win. I don't think they win 8 games.
Yeah, I think that's close to say, but I do think they win 9 games, so I believe it's an over for them.
I don't know. I don't like the offseason they had at all. I know Mac Jones going into his second year. I don't know. I just don't like their offense. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know
think,
it's not that I'm just because I'm a Jets fan. I just don't like what they did.
I just think that they have. It's Bill Belichick, so he is always finds ways to win 500. So I think with that being said, I think he ends up getting 9 wins.
Gotcha. So another one different there. I had to go back up and look at Buffalo to see what we both said. We both said over on the 11.5, but the other 2 teams in that division so far, the Dolphins and Patriots, we were different on. So we'll see when we get to the Jets what we decide there. But the Saints at 8 wins. I don't need to look this one up. I like the offseason they had, even though going into the offseason they were in cap trouble. Somehow they get out of it, make some unbelievable moves, and I'm taking the over 8 wins.
See, I'm taking the under. I just don't think that they're going to have a great year. I just don't believe that the pieces that they made are good enough with Jameis Winston. He's too inconsistent, and I just think that's going to hurt them, especially with Kamara being a question mark. When's Michael Thomas come back, and when he does, how does he come back and play? So I just think that's a lot of question marks to have. So I think that's going to hurt them.
So let's look here. That's actually three out of the last 4 we have taken different. This should take us to the Giants at 7.5 wins. I don't need to look up the Giants. I'm taking the under on this one. I think they're bad. I think they're going to realize that Danny Jones isn't the answer there, and I think they have a bad year. Find their replacement in next year's draft. But your thoughts on the Giants at 7.5?
This team's a dumpster fire.
Oh man, so dumpster fire means under 7.5.
Yeah, I think they're under 5.
Wow. So
I really think that they're under 5. I just don't think they're that good at all.
So me neither. Oops. If you could see what I wrote on my thing here, we have the Jets coming up next, but then after the Jets, I believe should be the Eagles, and I actually wrote in on my sheet. I wrote Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, wrong sport.
So my Jets at 5.5 wins. Right now, where things stand, I am definitely taking the over on this. Unfortunately, if things change and there's some injuries, like if Zach Wilson gets injured, I think it could be a bigger problem than anything. But your thought on my Jets at 5.5?
Over. I really think that they have a good year. I think they get 6 to 7 wins.
Yeah,
and it's a successful season for them at 6 to 7 wins.
I had them at 7 with possibly an eighth win. Looking at that schedule, so we're almost even there. That should take us to the Philadelphia Eagles at 9.5. I'm gonna have to go back up and look. I'm taking the under. I think 9 wins this division. I believe you took Dallas with higher. So what's your thoughts on Philadelphia?
I took Dallas at even at 10, and I'm taking the Eagles over at 9.5.
Oh, over.
I think that they're going to end up with 10 wins as well, and it's going to come down to a tiebreaker to beat the division titles.
they should do like if division people tie and their division record is the same, they should have to play a 1-game playoff.
That'd be interesting. For
only
sure.
division, not wild card spots. Only division.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Like game 163 for the MLB. I believe that takes us to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7.5. Ooh, now Pittsburgh's one of those teams. We looked it up during the season last year. Last time they actually had an under 500 season. I forget how long ago it was.
I think we said it was like the 90s.
Yeah. So, oh man, 7.5. That's right at that sweet spot because I could see them winning 7 games. Because I don't know how Trubisky's going to be, or if they go with the rookie out of Pittsburgh that they took there. Small hands. I don't like that. I didn't like that pick on draft night. But your thoughts on what Pittsburgh's doing, and then I'm actually going to wait for you to make your pick, and then I'll make mine.
I think the under is the key way to go here. I do. I think a losing season is in the making. Without Ben Roethlisberger, they have no stability at quarterback coming in, and Pittsburgh's not had without having a stability quarterback at hand in many, many years. And I think this is the first time in a while they have a losing season just because they don't really have any knowledge on what's going to happen with the team.
Right. And here's another one we're going to have different because I am going to take the over. I think they get that 8th win, so they finish under 500 at 8-9. But I think they get that 8th win. That defense can win them a couple games. So, I'll take the over there.
The defense could win them the games, but the offense has to still be able to win them. They can't lose it for them.
Oh, my goodness. The San Francisco 49ers at 10 wins.
Who's the quarterback is the question.
That's the question, exactly. Let me see what their record was last year. I believe they had 10 wins last year. 10-7 last year.
Yep. I'm under all this all the way, regardless who's their quarterback. If Garoppolo is at quarterback and starting, I think they have the 9 wins in them. If Trey Lance is at quarterback, he's getting benched by like week 6, and they're probably going to have like 4 to 5 wins.
Wow, that bad? You think they could have that bad of a season?
I think it's that bad if Trey Lance is a starting quarterback.
Oh, then I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go under as well. Even that 10's too high for me. I don't think they're a 10-win team anyway.
No, I don't think they're a double-digit win team unless their defense carries them a lot.
So let's keep going here. We're up to the Seattle Seahawks. I wonder if Rye Cannon's here. He was streaming, so I'm not sure if he's here. I know he's a Seahawks fan. I believe they're next. Yes. Ooh, 5.5 wins. Ooh, man. I'm going to have to look at their schedule. Let's see. You can't go by last year's record because they go a completely different quarterback.
Yeah, it's a completely different team. By saying that, I'm actually going to go with the under. I just think that honestly they're going to be in the top 3 in draft pick next year for having the first overall pick. They're going to be real close to getting it.
You're taking the under. Let me look at their schedule here. Kickoff against Denver, San Francisco, Atlanta, Detroit, New Orleans, Arizona, the Chargers, the Giants. I could see them beating the Giants. Arizona, Tampa Bay, Vegas, the Rams, the Panthers. I could see San Francisco, Kansas City, the Jets. Not that late in the year. They're not beating the Jets that late in the year. And then the Rams again. So yeah, definitely taking the under as well. Man, right now on paper, I only have them at 2 wins. So
yeah, it's gonna be close to being a really bad year.
Under. And if they do have that bad of a year, say they go 3-14 or 4-13, Pete Carroll sticking around, or what do you think's happening there?
It's hard to say, honestly. He says he's going to stay around, but it never comes down to that at the end of the day.
Yeah, so let's keep looking here. Only a couple more teams left. Thank you, everybody, for being here. leave a comment letting them know who your team is. We can go back and look at who we predicted for your team if we're already past that. But Tampa Bay at 11.5. Oh, man, 11. That's another one of those ones that's right on that edge. That they were 13-4 last year. Go ahead, Sean.
Honestly, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's Tom Brady, but I don't see them getting 12 wins.
You don't
I
see
really
them
don't.
getting 12 wins?
No, I think they're going to be under. I think they're going to be around the 9 to 10 wins, just because the Saints always play them tough. And they're Tom Brady's going to have that bad year at some point. He can't have every year a good year when he plays with Tampa Bay. So I think that being said, I think it's a down year, and he should have stuck to retirement.
I don't think it's a down year. I'm going with at least 12 wins. So I'm taking the over there. Until Tom Brady shows that he's washed up, you never bet against Brady. There was a golf thing yesterday. Did you see that?
I did.
Let's catch up on the chat here. McMillionaire 13 says Panthers baby, let's go. It's your boy Ninja. Oh, thanks for being here. Let me give a shout out to these guys. Sean, on the screen, can you flip back to the Panthers and we'll look.
Yeah.
We'll look to see. Why I give some shout outs here. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking us out. We had the Panthers at 6 wins. McMillionaire, let me know. I'll tell you what our things were. Both these guys, both McMillionaire and It's Your Boy Ninja, first time chatters. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. But no, when we came down to the Panthers, I believe you said it was under. You didn't see them winning 6 games, and I said I thought they were going to win 6 games. I think they were going to break even, and just because it was going to be that kind of, yeah, he said it perfectly. That rebuild year.
Yeah.
I think this will be the last year that Christian McCaffrey's on the Panthers.
I actually think he'll get traded. Maybe not before the season, but during the season. Sam, in that little video I put together for the intro video, I said Sam Darnold's trash, and Sam Darnold is trash. The kid can't read a defense. The kid can't slide. The kid can't throw the ball away.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the real problem is him being a quarterback if he is a starter starting week 1.
So
and that's the question: is he going to be called in as a starter or not?
Yeah. So before we finish this up, we got a couple teams left. Let's catch up on the chat over here. Hopefully, we get some good picks for CMC. I don't know if you'll get picks. I think you'll get players. Actually,
I think you get players. I think honestly over picks, just because of
and if
his
you do
age.
if it is picks, it'll be later picks. It won't be quality. It won't be top 3 rounds.
No, not at all. But we left off with the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
The 9 wins, I think, honestly.
Man, that's
steep. But I think, honestly, that they break even, they get 9 wins, just because I think with Derrick Henry, it's hard to bet that he's not going to have 2 or 3 breakout games that are big games and a lot of yardage. And I think that being said, they at least get the 9 wins. And I think with the 9 wins, they should be able to win the division. But that division could be it could be a 7 to 9 win division to honestly win that.
Let's look here. Let's go back. I want to see. Tennessee won 12 games last year. Tannehill, I don't like Tannehill. I think he's declining pretty quick. I do like what they did in the draft, but man, 9. I think they get to 10, so I'm going to go over. What'd you take? You took even, right?
Yeah, I took even. I just don't think that they break over that double-digit threshold.
So that's another one we have that's different. We'll go over the list again here before we end.
Your favorite team?
No, it's not my favorite team. Growing up, that was one of the first things I remember. I remember the Washington Redskins. Guys like now this is going back. I'm older than most of you guys here. But yeah, guys like John Riggins, Joe Theismann. I remember when Joe Theismann got hurt on Monday Night Football. So
Yep.
that's when I was just starting to get into sports. So it wasn't until a couple of years later where I actually picked a team. And because back in the day, back in the 80s, living in Jersey, we only got 2 games. Either the Giants or Jets were on at 1, and then the Giants or Jets were on at 4, and then we got the Monday night game. So I ended up picking the Jets, which is dumb.
Yeah.
The rest of the family picked the Giants.
They didn't get much better other than 2 titles. That's it.
Yeah, well, since we've been fans, they've actually won 3, I believe, but been in 4. So I just want to get to one. I mean, of course, I want to win it, but I want to get to one.
I just want to be able to have that time I can get to it, so I can be silent for 4 quarters.
So the new Washington Commanders won 7-10 last year. I think they go 7-10 again this year. I don't like what they're doing in Washington. But yeah, Sean, your thoughts on Washington?
I'm gonna hit the under, but I'm with you. 7 wins. I think Carson Wentz is the answer for them. I do think he's gonna be a future for them, and I think that they're gonna keep him around for a long time.
So yeah, gotcha. So we both took the under there, have them going 7 wins. Let's get this off the screen and put. This is what our screen usually looks like. But wanted to put those images. The images look better when it filled the screen instead of doing it the way this way. The top banner and bottom banner would have blocked some of the stuff you had on there. But let's look. I will put. Let me share this so we can go through. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. If you guys that are still here would like to join our free Yahoo Fantasy Football League, I'll put that over in the link for that over in the chat. There is a draft date set there. We will change that to make sure everybody can show up. And we'll announce the prizes and stuff once we do get filled up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sean, before I put the over-unders back up on the screen, we also set up some DraftKings stuff. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, once the season begins, we're going to have it that we can have weekly setups for people to play and participate and just play against each other and not have a lockdown to a team. If you're one of those weekly people that like to pick a new team every week and pretty much play fantasy football at that, which nothing wrong with that, of course, but if you want to have that, then we can do that. But if you want to play for a full season, then we have that as well. So we're trying to make the best of both worlds for everyone that we know that like to play both sides of of leagues like that.
Yeah, and like I did put the link in the chat for both the Yahoo free league, and if you are on DraftKings, Sean has set that league up as well. So go over, join that. Nothing going on there yet. That'll kick off when the season actually starts. Probably with the first Thursday night game, we'll do something, right?
Yeah, most likely, without a doubt. That's pretty much when it'll take off, and we'll be ready to go, firing on all cylinders.
So let me share this. I put all our over-unders on the screen here. So let's look. Let's just let's see here. Cardinals, we were the same, under 8.5. Actually, before any major injuries, while we go through this list, Sean, if you want to change something now, let me know.
Hey, I'm sticking to my picks. Never change.
So Falcons, we're both taking the over 5. Ravens, we're both taking under 9.5. Buffalo, we both took the over 11.5. Buffalo is definitely going to be one of those teams fighting for home field advantage. Do you see, because of how the AFC West is set up, do you think any of those teams will be fighting for the number 1 seed?
It's hard to say they're honestly going to compete for a number 1 seed just because of, like you said, they're playing against each other too much.
So let's keep looking here. We did Buffalo, Carolina. You had them even at 6 wins. I have them under 6. I don't think that they have I don't think they're winning 6. If McMillionaire is still here, he's saying something about the Panthers. Let me know. What do you think? 6 wins? Over, under McMillionaire? Let us know what you think. Let me know what you think of Sam Darnold. Go ahead,
See, I'm
Sean.
stuck. I'm stuck with them hitting 6. I really do think that they at least get to that.
Yeah. So let's keep looking here. I was looking to see. Let me just give a shout out. These are some of the people that have been here. I don't know if everybody's still here. Well, it says 5 right now, but another viewer was here. Thank you for being here. Blackman Homeman was here. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The Lots, thank you. Farming Girl was here. Frank is a Dark Boy was lurking. I actually love watching Frank is a Dark Boy. I love his channel. So tonight, with my Mets being out on the West Coast, I'll put him on as well because it'll be a late night for me here on the East Coast. MetaViews was here. Thank you. Trude Albert was here. And Sean, you're watching. It says you're watching on something as well. So thank you for doing that. But let's keep looking at our stuff here. What did we do? Panthers. Did we do Bears? That was the first one we had different. You have them over 6.5, and I have them at under. I think they, to me, they're a 6-win team if they have a good year.
See, I just think that I think that they're in the making of having a breakout year, and I think that's where this year comes into play. And I think they have that 7-win mark finally.
Then the defending AFC champions, the Bengals, are at 10. We both have them at under. I believe we both said they'll get 9 wins this year.
Yeah, I do think that's where they get to. Honestly, I just don't think they can get to 10.
So then we have the Browns at under 9.5 as well. And I see the Browns winning anywhere, depending on what the quarterback situation is here.
Yeah,
even if he's not suspended and he plays the whole year, I don't think they're winning 9.5 over. I don't think they're winning 10 games to get to the over.
See, I think they could honestly they could get 10 wins depending on the quarterback situation, but it's going to be a hard power battle. So I think for sure it's under 10 is easy thing to say.
Oh, Harold here. I don't know if you put that up on the screen already, Sean. I just saw it. Okay, I'm here. Start over. So yeah, I do have them up on the screen right now. The differences are in yellow. But the Browns, then the Cowboys, we had different. You have the Cowboys winning 10 games. I think the Cowboys can win that division with 9 wins. They'll definitely be fighting for the division. So I have them just under. Then we have the Broncos both under 10. But are you with me? Do you think the Broncos are fighting for a wild card spot?
Yeah, I think without a doubt they're that wild card spot that's going to be battling there. I just don't think they're in it for a division.
Okay, since Harold's here, we're up to the Detroit Lions. We might have to change our picks here, Sean. Detroit Lions 6.5. I think we should change it to under. What do you think?
Nah, I'm sticking with over. I think honestly that I think this honestly that they could compete for a division. Honestly, I think this year just the way the team played last year and the amount of heart that they battled with every game.
Yeah, I agree. I could see them if things start going right. Like you said, I forget what stream it was. We looked at they were like 2-6 in 1-score games. So if they can change that around, they're definitely fighting for. Harold even says we win 8 or 9. I could definitely see them winning that many games and fighting for a wild card spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And depending on how things go in the division, maybe even fighting for the division.
Absolutely. I think that could be a possibility for sure.
Because the Green Bay Packers right now are projected at 11. I'm definitely taking that under.
Without a doubt.
I just don't like the offseason they had on both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
Yeah, with Green Bay, Houston, and Indy, it's easy without a doubt to say under just because you have so many question marks with all 3 teams. They're the same thing as Cleveland. It's just there's so many question marks. We're not really sure what you're going to have and what kind of team. And I just think that the under for both of us to agree on is the easiest way to go with that.
Yep. And then the Houston Texans at 4.5 wins. We both took the under that as well. When I looked at the schedule, I could only come up with 2 games that I could see them winning. Now you never know. That's why they play the games. But 4.5. You still think they're a year away with Davis Mills.
Absolutely, I do.
So their division rival there, the Colts. We both took the under at 9.5, but should be in the mix for a wild card spot as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think they're that questionable team. What could really happen? What could really go wrong? Games that could happen.
Yeah, so Indiana, Jacksonville, you have them winning 6. I could see Jacksonville winning 7 or 8 games. So I took the over there. So that's why that one's in yellow because we did it different. The Chiefs, we both have under 10.5. What do you think? I don't think they get to 10 wins, but definitely still fighting for a playoff spot and maybe even the division.
Yeah, I think they're that 9 to 10 win. Honestly, I think they're in that weird thing. But Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid could come out and they could go 17-0 for all we know, just because they have that firepower to go score 45 points yet every game.
Right. Yep. And then we have the Chargers. You took the over 10. So if that's the case, I went even. I had them winning exactly 10. Do you think the Chargers, if since you have them over, you have them winning that division?
I think they do win the division. I really just think that they're the best team in the division.
Okay, so we'll keep going here. Then the Rams. We both took the over 10.5. Defending Super Bowl champions, like I said before, they got better.
Yeah, I think honestly the over. I think they're 11 to 12 wins, just because of the division that they play, and they could go 6-0 in that division.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we have the Raiders, the Vegas Raiders, over 8.5. They won more games than that last year, and they got better on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Derek Carr could be an MVP race, I think.
And I think they're the bigger threat to the Chargers for the division than anybody else.
Absolutely. I think the Broncos are the worst team in the division.
And but saying that, the Broncos could still make the playoffs.
Absolutely, they could still be a wild card team and be the worst team in the playoff in the division.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Miami at 9. You took the even. I took the under. I think they're overhyped.
Hey, leave Noodle Arm alone.
He'll be benched halfway through the year.
Benched by week 8.
So, Minnesota Vikings. We both took the even. You actually talked me into that. Originally, I was going to go under because I saw 8 wins, but you talked me into that one. So,
yeah, I think
9 wins wins the division.
Yeah, probably close to that. I think this because the win-loss record they had in one possession games last year. I think they were like 2 and 8 last year in 1 losses or 1 possession. So it's like it honestly. And then I think there was 6 games they lost at literally as time expired. So if you think about it, you win half those and flip them around. Even if you win 3 of those 6, we're a division winner.
Gotcha. So let's keep looking here. We got the Patriots. I took the under 8.5. I think they go back again. I think they overachieved last year, and I think they got worse this year.
It's Bill Belichick.
But that's the thing. It is Bill Belichick. But I think the downfall has started happening.
Bill Belichick brought a guy named Tom Brady into a room, Julian Edelman into a room, Gronkowski into a room, and turned them into Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's why I have them highlighted different colors here. I like the Saints. I took the over 8. You don't like the Saints and took the under.
No, I don't like them at all.
Then the Giants and Jets. We both think the Giants are a complete dumpster fire.
You should just put New York dumpster fire.
Going under 7.5. I think they find out early that Daniel Jones isn't the answer there, and they start planning on
saying goodbye
and
pack up your stuff. You're heading out to nowhere.
Like this year definitely wasn't the year to get a quarterback, but next year I believe there's 4 or 5 guys worth taking in next year's first round.
Absolutely.
But then my Jets at 5.5. We both took the over there as well. What do you think of my Jets? Realistically, I
I
have them about 7 or 8. 8 if they're lucky. Definitely 7 wins though.
yeah, I think the 7-8 win mark is definitely where they need to be. To be a successful season, I think that's where you want them to be.
So let's keep looking here. The Eagles at 9.5. You took the over. I took the under. I took the under because I have them winning 9 games. So the over, you're thinking they're winning at least 10 or more than 10?
I think they win. I think they win even at 10.
They win. Okay. Then the Steelers. I took the over only because I think they get to 8. That's why. But you took the under, and you think you think things are going to start imploding in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, dumpster fire beginning there too. They wasted a first-round pick there this year on a quarterback that wasn't even a first-round pick.
Well, we'll see. Seahawks, we both 5.5. Still a big question mark. What they're doing at quarterback. Are they going to roll with Drew Lock, or do they make a trade for Baker? If they make a trade for Baker, I'm going over 5. I think they get the 6.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can make the trade for Baker, then over is without a doubt, and that number is useless at 5.5.
Right. But then the San Francisco 49ers, we both took the under. A little bit of a letdown year this year, and especially with the question mark at quarterback.
That's the biggest piece. That's a huge, huge question mark.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I took the over 11.5. I'm still a believer in Brady until he shows me otherwise. You took the under. Since you took the under, how close to that 11.5 mark do they get?
9 to 10 wins.
9 to 10 wins. Tennessee Titans. I took the over 9. I think they'll win that division with 10 or 11 wins. And you took even. Even. Do you think they win that division with 9 wins?
Even they win a division with 9 games.
Okay, and your Washington Commanders.
Oh my God!
We both took the Washington. How long before? What week do we start saying the Commodores or Comanches? I don't know.
I'm saying I'm the football team. They're the football team. Man.
Honestly, that was a better name. The Washington Football Team, even though we made fun of it, was a better name than the Washington Commanders.
Absolutely. I'd rather have the football team.
We both took the under there. So let's see how many different we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, 11 different. That's a good amount. So we'll keep track. We'll come up with some kind of wager to place on that.
I'll win that too.
You'll
I beat you in everything.
Oh my goodness! Why do I even bother with this nonsense?
I ask the same questions every morning when I wake up, and you're texting me already.
No, I wake up and you have texted me already. So
I'm sorry. Some people get up early.
That's your fault, not mine. You work hard for a living, not me.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
So let's give another shout out to some of the people that are here, or that were here. Another viewer was here. Thank you. Blackman Homan was here. Delots was here. Erica was here. Farming Girl was here. Frank is a Dark Boy was lurking. Metaviews was here. And Trude Albert was here. And of course, Sean is watching on one of his devices as well. So Sean, thanks for doing that to get our numbers pretty good. Let me see this. Imagine Sean not beating me at anything. Whoa. So actually, Harold did join the Yahoo League. He did. He is in there. So hopefully we can get that filled up and get a date set so we can start looking forward to that.
I might just let my team auto draft and I can win with an auto draft team. I might do that. I'll win with a bunch of clowns, and I'll do my best. I might not win, but I'm going to do my damn best.
The auto draft clowns. That could be the name. That could be the name of your team.
That might be my new name. I mean, it could be worse. That could be the Las Vegas prison. Because I could have Henry. The mean machines. Huh? Give me a bunch of USFL players.
Oh man, I don't know. I was so excited because I love football, but crazy that I haven't stuck with that.
Bring out the XFL and more excitement.
I mean, I don't know. There's more hype over the XFL on Twitter, and that doesn't come back till next year. So I did sign a contract, TV
Is
deal. I forget who it was with.
Disney.
Oh, Disney.
Yeah, is Miles Garrett gonna be allowed to play a game just so he can hit somebody with a helmet in that league?
Oh my goodness. So
Or would he get suspended there too?
probably get suspended there as well.
I mean, would it be worth it to get suspended from the XFL for beating somebody with a helmet? I mean, at least it's not the NFL.
It depends on who it is, really, I guess.
I mean, first guy that annoys them.
So, yeah. Well, usually on our draft or on our live streams here, we usually end the stream with a mock draft, but we're way past our hour point. Once again, thank you for everybody being here. If you're not already, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you like the content here, someone said Mickey Hill. If you like the content here and willing to go above and beyond, you can always hit that subscribe button. There's 3 different tiers there. So you can join there. We really much appreciate that. We do have some giveaways for that once we get to 10. We've had 3 subscribers so far, Harold being one of them. Harold, so thank you for doing that. Overlord, who's usually here, is one as well. My buddy Dustin, who's actually live streaming right now as well. He usually do that. So what's fun on Twitch is you usually get to do a raid. So since we have 6 people here, let me see which one of our guys is actually still live streaming here and go give them a raid. Boost their numbers up a little bit. Twitch. So Sean, anything else before we head out?
No, just can't wait to see everybody there again to join us on Sunday and to hopefully some big things start happening in football. I mean, with free agencies and everything, hopefully we can start getting there with some acquisitions happening.
Yeah, it's not letting me look there. Let me go back over here. Where's the rate a channel button? Let's see who's playing what here. I know Frank's not streaming yet. Oh, Rye Cannon. Actually, Dustin. Let me see if Dustin is. Dustin is. He's got 1 person watching. Let's go over and raid. Thanks, guys, for being here. We'll see you Thursday.
See you guys or Sunday.